My name is Jillian Maynard, and the piece I chose to focus on for my gallery talk is the pendant from my First Wish series. I chose this series because it holds a very special place emotionally for me, because it was designed in memory of my grandmother. Um, she was a major influence on me in getting into art and everything. So this combines both the memories I have of my grandmother's, the things she taught me, the stories she told me as a child, as well as what I've learned in my glass career, as well as what I've learned as a metal student at ODU. I'm going to start with the bead that is hanging from the bottom of the crane. This is a lamp worked bead. I enjoy lamp working because it gives me the flexibility of working with molten glass without having the setup of a full workshop. So as you see the pattern, it's a cream and a red pattern, and it changes as the bead goes around. So I was able to do that by basically melting strips of glass and gathering them up onto a steel pipe or mandrel and shaped it using stainless steel tools, creating my pattern. I like lamp working of all the hot processes where I deal with melted glass best, simply because I have the most control and there aren't any unexpected surprises with it generally, because it cools so fast you can tell where you're at in the process and what it's going to look like when it's finished. As for the crane itself, it is a hand-folded origami crane. Probably it's got a 3-inch wingspan, and it's probably about an inch high. And what I did with it was I folded the crane, I dipped it in a sealer so the paper would harden and not be porous anymore, and then I painted it with an electroconductive paint that is then dipped in a solution where it is electroformed using electrical current, a specific chemical bath, and then I kept an eye on it, and it took a couple of hours in order for it to become this coated, and it was really a process I had to keep an eye on, because if you go too fast, the copper doesn't plate evenly and it looks almost burnt and brown. So I was constantly checking on it, pulling it out of the solution, and making sure that it was what I was looking for. So all in all, this project, I had a lot of failures with getting the cranes right until I figured out the amperage that I needed, how long it needed to sit in the bath, how many coats of conductive paint it needed. But all in all, it is a piece that really makes me happy working with this series. It's a series I've been continuing. I've been working mainly with small scale cranes about this size or smaller. And what I'm thinking I'm going to work on next is working on larger form cranes that I can add to my glass pieces as decorative elements, sort of further combining the two. I haven't done that yet, but it is definitely something that is on the books to be done later this year. All in all, it is one piece that started with a crazy, can you electroform paper question with a lot of trial and errors, and ended up with a series that really makes me both sad and happy, because it reminds me of my grandmother, like I said, who's gone, but it also makes me happy because I'm seeing her influence in the stuff I am putting out with this series, and knowing that even if no one else in the world knows, I at least know that someone has got a piece of my artwork or jewelry that's been inspired by my grandmother. So, all in all, it's a fun little series that lends itself to a lot of flexibility in terms of what I can do with it in terms of size and how I implement it. So I'm really looking forward to working with this series more.